Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you see, we're going to be cooking with Keisha, and today's specialty will be deviled eggs. So I have my egg tray here and we are going to be making deviled eggs. So you want to get a carton of eggs. It doesn't matter what your preference is, whether it's going to be the EB eggs, the small, medium, large, whatever your preference is. And then we're going to need a pot, a big pot I recommend, and then once you're done, you're going to need a bowl, because once you boil your eggs, you're going to need a bowl to put all of your insides inside of the bowl to mix it up. And then afterwards, you'll place the egg slices into the tray, and then you'll need a tray like this. Okay, so let's get started. So I have an event that's coming up, and which requires me to have a large quantity of eggs, but of course the dish that I'm using is holding 15, I believe. So it's simple math, people. 15. We're gonna need 8 eggs. Originally it would be 7, but because the 7 will fill up to only this spot, it'll leave me 1 left. So that means that I'm gonna have to add another egg, which will give me that 8th egg. And then because we're cutting this egg into 2 slices, what'll happen is that extra one will be the one that I use for my sample. That's my test taster. So I'll test that one and see, making sure that all of my deviled eggs is on point. Okay. So what we're gonna do is place the eggs into the bowl. So we need 8 eggs but for this presentation, I'm going to put more than 8 in there because I'm going to be doing 2 dishes. Do that for right now. And then we're going to turn it over to the sink, and you're going to put warm water in there. Fill it up medium. Fill the pot up medium halfway, and then you want to set your stove to mine says low, medium, high, so I have it on medium. Okay, so now that I have the eggs on the stove, the pot on the stove, what we're going to do is leave that on for about 30 minutes. I'm going to set my timer for until it comes to a complete boil. And then we're going to go from there. Okay, so now that we have the eggs on the stove boiling, I have my timer set. So this is how many minutes we have left, but I set it to 30 minutes to start. So we'll set that aside, and in the meantime, we'll just get all the other equipment and stuff that we need to move forward. So you're going to need the bowl that I was telling you about to cut the inside of the egg out, and we will use a cutting board here. So you're going to need a sharp knife, and let's talk about the seasonings that you're going to need. So you will need some paprika. It doesn't matter of the brand, it all does the same thing, and I feel like it all tastes the same. The other seasoning you will need, some people use bacon bits and some people do not. It's your preference on what you prefer, but I am going to use bacon bits in this presentation. Also some parsley. So it doesn't matter, again, the brand. So it all does the same thing, just to give you some greenery on top of your food, because it's all about presentation, and you'll see that once we get started. And of course, salt and pepper. So you're going to need salt and pepper to give it some taste, and you will also need some mayo. or mayonnaise dressing, and it's your preference, again, whatever you desire. And then also the stone ground mustard. So if you can find that on the shelf, I got this from Giants. So this is also very good as well. And then so what I like to do is once the eggs finish, then I'll rinse them off and crack them. So I'm going to go ahead on and fast forward this and speed up into that. I'll be back. Alright, let's check out eggs. Alright, they're boiling. Woo, steaming. Woo, looking good. So the timer went off, but I like to do it a little bit longer. Sometimes you can tell when the eggs are done when you see like there's a little crack in the egg to let you know that the egg is finished. But let's continue to let them boil and then we'll come back. Okay everyone, so the eggs are finished. So I'm going to dump the hot water out. And then I'm going to run some cold water over top of it because I have to touch it. The egg is hot and I don't want to burn my hands. You can either do this or you can just let it sit and let it cool off by itself. Whatever your preference is. So while that's sitting in there cooling off, what we're going to do is we're going to take this egg and we're going to tap it onto this metal. You want to get yourself a plastic bag so that you can put the eggshells inside of the plastic bag, and then I'll put the egg in here. So you're going to peel. See, that looks perfect. I'm going to rinse this off. And then I'll just set the egg inside of the bowl until I do crack all of them and then put them in the bag, and then I'll cut them one by one. I'll go ahead and do another one, and then I'm going to speed up the video while I crack these eggs and then resume back to the presentation. Okay, so again, nice pretty egg. Rinse that off and then put it in the bowl. And then we'll continue with that step. Make sure you tap gently too. It doesn't take a lot for you to crack the egg because you don't want to puncture the egg itself. And then when you go to cut the egg, it's all messed up. I wish you guys could smell it. It smells so good. Okay, again, another egg. That's going to go into the bowl. Okay, so now we have all of the eggs inside of the bowl, and we're going to continue on with cutting. Okay, so now we have all of the eggs inside of the bowl completed. They're all peeled, and so I'm going to go ahead on and start cutting. So you're going to need a sharp knife. And you want to slice directly going down the middle. Into 2 halves, just like that. And then what you're going to do is take the inside told you that you was going to need your tray, and then this is where you're going to place your egg inside of the tray, just like that. I'll come back to that, but for the most part they easily come out. You gotta get you a good night too. Almost done here. I'm gonna go ahead on and fast forward this. You guys get the idea. You want to slice your eggs, and then you want to empty the content out inside of the bowl. I'll be coming right back. Okay, so now that I have all of the content inside of the bowl here, and then I have my eggs here on the platter. Typically what I would do is, since I'm having a large party, I put the rest of the eggs in the middle, but I would decorate it with like some type of leaf with fruit, grapes, strawberries, that sort of thing. And I may do one platter with that, but for right now, as you can see, that's what that is. Okay, so now moving right along, what we're going to do is measure. I like to use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's all you need. You don't need a lot.
Can I make my cookie?
And then you can sprinkle it in there. You can add all your seasonings in right now and then mix up.
Oh, those don't look like...
Excuse me.
Is that poison?
No, it's not. Move, King.
What is it? Pepper?
I'm done with this. Sprinkle a little bit of paprika. Some people like to use paprika or seasonal, obey, whatever your preference is. But I'm doing paprika today. Then we're going to take the mayo, open it up, and then squeeze. So you can't squeeze no more. There's no specific measurement on the amount of mayonnaise that you use, as long as you get it in there, and then add a little bit of mustard. Some people like to use relish. If you like relish, you can add a little bit of a tablespoon of that. It all depends on what your preference is, but I don't really care for relish, so I'm not going to do that. And then you want to mix your content up. This is your filling. You can use, I feel like the inside of the egg is too thick to use a whisk. So I'm just going to go ahead and only use my fork to mesh it. If you like to use a blender, you can do that. But it doesn't really take a lot to just mash it up. So add a little bit of mayonnaise. So I kind of like to give it that smooth consistency, not so much of the thick. So I'm going to add a little bit more mayonnaise to try to get that smooth. Alright, let's move that to the side, and then I'm going to bring the platter here. This is my tester. You want enough filling inside of the egg, but you don't want to use too much because you want to make sure you have enough to go around. And then once you fill all of your eggs, then you can come back and then fill in where you feel like it needs to be more filling added.
mama roll. And my mama roll. And my mama roll. Oh, those eggs.
Move.
Why? But mine. Get it down.
Sorry about that. I have a little helper that wants to get his hands dirty. But I will, at some point, we're going to do a Mommy and Me baking our favorite cookies edition. So stay tuned for that. I'll tag the video when we're doing that. Okay, so I'm going to finish up with going around and filling in the remaining filling that I had for the eggs, and then I'll come back. All right, I'm so excited. Look, everything looks perfect. Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some paprika, and I'm going to just sprinkle it going across all of the eggs, just like this. Oh. Okay. That should be enough of that. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of bacon bits. A little bit of pepper. And then your parsley. How pretty that is. Yes. Okay. I did not use my filler. So here is the deviled eggs, guys. Alright, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and comment below if you have any more ideas for another tray that you would like for me to make. And toodles till next time. Bye.